me again. Hey y'all, what's up? It's time for another video. So as you guys can see from the title, we are going to talk about a few things that they don't share with you after having a baby. Okay, so I told you guys that I want to start doing mom related videos on Mondays, but y'all gonna get this video on a Tuesday because it's better late than never, right? As you guys can see from the title, we're going to talk about a few things that you may not know after having a baby. So as you guys know, I have two kids. I have a 6-year-old and a 22-month-old. So I do have a baby update coming for you guys. I shared in the other update video that I want to do a 22-month-old, a 24-month-old, a 36. I want to keep doing these updates because I love them. I can always look back on their journeys. I actually want to do one for Maddie too, and I'm going to do one for Tristan. I have a few things to update you guys, especially with his speech. So that video is coming soon. Prior to having my babies, or after having my babies, I was not told about certain things, even through research, I guess, because you don't really think to research things until you're in that situation. So I'm going to share my experience, and if you guys have a similar experience or a similar situation that you've encountered like me, let me know down below. So without any further ado, let's get it. All right, so before we jump into it, make sure you are subscribed, hit that button down below, hit that notification bell twice so you are notified every time I post a video. I just love that. All right, so let's just go ahead and hop right into it. I think I'm going to share about 5 things that I did not know after having a baby. So like I said, feel free to share if this has happened to you or not. Okay, so you're going to bleed a lot. I'm sure after you have the baby, think, oh, okay, this baby's here, it is in my arms and all that good stuff. I'm nursing, da 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 da. But down below, you're bleeding heavily. Okay, after I had my firstborn, I did not know that I was bleeding a lot. So I had both my kids naturally, vaginally, no medication. How did I do it? I don't know. but I had the strength to do it. I had a TLC moment, okay? Don't go chasing waterfalls, because that's how it felt like. It just felt like a waterfall, just constantly it was just coming out, you guys. Disgusting. This time around, I said, okay, I'm going to pack pads, but I didn't know I was gonna bleed even more this time. So they gave me some of the hospital pads, and they also gave me some underwear, but I think I wore the underwear the first day and then I wore the pads the next day. So I mean, y'all, like seriously, like sorry, I just felt bad for my vagina, because I mean, I literally just gave birth to another child and I was just like bleeding, like just bleeding. So if you're expecting, or your delivery date is coming up soon and you plan on having a natural birth, or you know, epidural or whatever, you need to have pads or depends on deck. It also have some wipes too, because you're going to need it. I'm telling you, like, you think like, okay, this baby's here and that's about it, but you gotta remember your body's going through a lot of changes as well. So just for say, you know, you may bleed, you may not bleed, but just in case you do bleed, because you never know until after you have the baby, have some pads, depends, some wipes, because if you don't take care of that, you're gonna bleed all on the bed, and that's hella disgusting. So just to be safe, just get you some Depends. Get you some Depends. Get you some long-winded pads, something that will soak up a lot of blood, and call it a day. And then also, there's a chance you might have to get stitched up, because depending on how the baby came out or how big the baby's head is, depending on how big the baby's head is, pretty much you're gonna get ripped. And sometimes you gotta get stitched back up because your area right there is pretty much ripped. So you have to get prepared. So you might have to get prepared to get stitched up. Luckily, I didn't have to get stitched up both times, thank God, but there may be a chance that you might have to get stitched back up. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that you know, that little area right there where your butthole and your vagina connect, it might rip because of the baby. So just get mentally prepared for that. And also your boobs, if you're going to be nursing, or if your milk comes in right away, you're going to get engorged. And engorged is when your boobs get really rock hard, but you have your first set of milk and you have the hind milk that comes out. So it's just, I'm telling y'all, having a baby is a lot. It's a beautiful blessing, and I love being pregnant. I love having babies, but man, the things we go through, y'all. So the second thing is the hospital bill. So if you don't know, everything you do from the time you check in to the time you check out of that hospital, you're going to get charged. So you're going to get charged for staying, you're gonna get charged for watching TV, for lunch, dinner, pads, everything. I mean, I'm just kidding, but seriously though, like, you're going to get charged for a lot. I remember after we had Maddie and we got the hospital bill back, I was like, whoa, I think the bill was like $10,500, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had this baby. Why did this baby cost $10,000? But you know, thank God for insurance. So if you do have insurance that covers the vast majority of your delivery or whatever, that's a blessing. Depending on the state regulations, if you are on government assistance, they pay for your whole delivery and stuff like that. So but I'm telling y'all, when y'all get your hospital bill, they're going to charge you for everything. And when I talk to some of my mommy friends, and I notice that if you get an epidural or you have a C-section, it's going to cost more than vaginal, because you have to pay, pretty much they charge you for the anesthesia, for the procedure, for this and that. So if you have to get those things, your bill is going to be higher. So even though I had Tristan natural as well, they gave me laughing gas. So looking back at the bill, they charged me for that. So I think it was like an extra $1,000 or $2,000. So I was like, dang, like they literally charge you for everything. So if you just had a baby, or you are at the hospital right now, or in the future if you are having a baby, look over your hospital bill and look at how detailed. And I say this especially for Black moms, because there's a crisis going on where there's a lot of Black moms that's not getting the proper postnatal, prenatal care, delivery care that they need. And you have to use your better judgment, because they can say, oh, you need a C-section, your baby's gonna do this and do that or whatever, or you have to get this epidural and stuff like that, when sometimes it's a money thing. Because I mean, that's, like I said, the more you do and the more they use towards you, you're going to get charged a lot. So that's just something to keep in mind. So like I said, use your better judgment, but don't ever feel forced to do something that you don't want to do unless the baby is in dire need of an emergency exit. You know what I'm saying? A baby's a blessing, but we get that hospital bill, it gets real. Okay. Another thing that I did not know until after I had a baby was this diastasis recti. So if you guys don't know, it's pretty much the splitting of your abdominal wall. And I noticed that with Tristan, I didn't carry him low, but I noticed that he stretched out bigger than Maddie. So after I had Maddie, I snapped back quick. I mean, you know, breastfeeding, working out and all of that, I snapped back quickly. But with Tristan, after I had him, I noticed, like, wait a minute, why is this flubber still here? And I mean, it took me a while. So it's still not gone 100%. And my stomach definitely doesn't look like how it looked after I had Maddie, for sure. Like, it's wrinkly, my belly button is still sticking out. So after a while, I was like, okay, well, let me Google, you know, because Google always comes through. Let me Google and see what's going on, because this, to me, at first, it wasn't normal. We have to get rid of this assumption that all pregnancies are the same, because they're not. So I researched it and I was like, oh, that's what that is. Okay, so it's true. I have diastasis recti. My abdominal wall split, so I may not ever have a six-pack again. I don't even think I had a six-pack before, but I'll probably never have a pack again. You know, I mean, I want to, and I'm working towards it, but that's what happens. So if you have a baby, whether it's a girl or boy, it doesn't matter. If that baby grows and splits your abs, that's what it is, boo. That's just what it is. So it's nothing bad though. I mean, like, it's not like they can't come back together. It's just you have to do certain exercises and you have to do certain things to help bring those things back. A lot of people have to be mindful after a mom has a baby, because she may look pregnant, but she may have diastasis recti. She might just be bloating. You know, you just never know. So just be mindful of those things, which goes to my next point. Point number 4, postpartum depression. Whew, y'all, this is a real thing, and I'm gonna get serious about this because this is something that I experienced with my firstborn, and I didn't know why and what was going on. Because, you know, after you have a baby, you think, oh my God, I'm a mom, this is a brand new beginning, I'm raising a little human. Like, you should have all the positive and happy emotions after having a baby. But over time, you notice that your emotions are getting a little crazy, you're a little overwhelmed, you're a little stressed, you know, you're crying because you're hungry. Like, I mean, it's just emotions all over the place. So for me, I think it was a mixture of postpartum depression and birth control, because I think I shared with you guys a couple years ago that I did go on birth control, but when I noticed that my emotions were like crazy, I mean, like, they were off the hook. Like, I knew I wasn't right, and not saying I was crazy, but I didn't feel like myself. I was like, nah, because when I looked at the symptoms, I could do a whole story. If you guys want to hear my tragic birth control story, I would definitely share it. But I said, no, I don't want that anymore, because that's the only, besides having a baby, that was the only real change that I had upon my body. And I said, nah, what y'all not gonna do, okay? So I got off that, but I noticed that my emotions were still all over the place. If you guys would like to hear an in-depth story about my postpartum depression, I'll be glad to do that as well. But it's a real thing, and I just want to be serious for a moment and just send a virtual hug to anyone who's experienced that, because I've experienced it. It is not fun. If you think depression is bad, try postpartum depression. Like, after having a whole human being and your emotions and hormones are all over the place because of, you know, your body changes. I mean, it's a real thing. So, you know, just give yourself grace. Don't try to be super mom. That's why I can't stand when people try to act like mom life is the best life, which it is. Being a mom is a blessing. It's amazing, and I would not change it for the world, but it's not perfect. So you cannot expect everything to be perfect. You can't expect everything to just be unicorns. It's like that when you're only running off of 2 hours of sleep. You don't have time to brush your teeth. You don't have time to take care of yourself because you're making sure that your blessing is taken care of. So just give yourself grace, okay? Don't think that just because this mom is posting a picture of looking good in a workout outfit with her stroller that everything's peachy in her life. It's not. Trust me. So let me be the one to say that it is okay. Just give yourself some grace and don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing the best that you can. Oh, I thought I was you. Hi. Yeah. Hi.
Good.
Oh, thank you. So, what was I saying? See, I lost my train of thought.
Did you second born?
Oh, thank you. So yeah, with my second born, like, I noticed that although having 2 kids, transitioning from 1 kid to 2 kids was overwhelming, I was not depressed about it, and I had to fight through those emotions and just do the best that I could. You know what I'm saying? Especially after I had my baby, we moved to a whole nother region. Like, it was just a lot of transitions from going from 1 kid to 2, from East Coast to the South of the South. I mean, it was just a lot of transitions, but I wasn't depressed about it. So that's how I know that God really saved me this time around. So yeah. Okay, so another thing is period changes. So I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with y'all. So ever since my miscarriage, I noticed that my cycle has not been the same. So usually I'll have a 5-day cycle, and then I'll be good for 26 days. I guess that's what it is, 26, 28. So before I had my son, I could track my period on my app. I use the Eve app, which is on Apple. I know a lot of people use Flow, but I use Eve. So every time I tracked it, it was right on point. Boom, 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 boom. So that's why when I did get pregnant, I was like, I'm pregnant. I knew it. After I had the miscarriage, and I guess my body was getting kind of back to, you know, after I had the miscarriage or whatever, I honestly didn't know how and when to track my period to try again. I just knew after I got cleared, we wanted to try again. But honestly, I didn't know exactly how to track it because it wasn't spot on, or it wasn't on point. So I had my miscarriage in March, and then July I found out I was pregnant. It was just kind of weird because I didn't know kind of what to do and how to track it spot on to know when I was gonna get pregnant. So you know, that's just one of those things where after you have your first child, or you know, if you do experience a miscarriage, chemical pregnancy, or whatever, your body is just not, it might be a little off. And you know, it's okay. You know, you can't beat yourself up for things out of your control, but at the same time, those are just some things that a lot of people don't talk about. Your body, your period changes after having a baby or having a miscarriage or whatever. Your body's just not going to be the same. After having Tristan, like tracking it from that point on, it was like maybe off a day or two, but now like the past 5-6 months, my dang has been all the way off, y'all. Like, I mean, I could have a period for 5 days and then be good, and then 2 weeks later I have another period. So I had a 7-day period, then I had a whole month off, like no bleeding. So that's why I was like, oh, hold on, am I pregnant? And then after I realized it, so after I realized I was like a couple of days late, that's when I had my cycle. And honestly, the past 2 months, like I've been having a period like every 2.5 weeks. Like I'm not even making it a full 3 weeks. And I don't know. That's why with a chance of having another child, I don't even know how I would be able to track it. And I don't know if I'll ever get pregnant again. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'll get pregnant this time. I don't know when I'll get pregnant. So my period ended on my fertile day. So my fertile day, I was still bleeding. So I don't know. But like I said, this is just one of those things that people never share. You know, you can Google all the stuff that you want, but nothing teaches you lessons better than life. So this is just something that, I don't know, I'm just being real and honest because it's something that I'm experiencing. And if I ever do want to have another baby or try for number 3, it'll probably be a struggle for me because, like I said, 1 week I'll have a cycle, 2 weeks later I'll have it again, or a week and a half later I have it again, or I'll go a whole month without a cycle, and then when it is my fertile day, that's when my cycle will come. Like, it's confusing. So yeah. Last but not least, so tip number 5, you do not need a lot of stuff. Like, I know a lot of mom bloggers, they have the latest bags, the latest this, the latest that. I mean, to each his own, but don't ever feel like you need a lot of baby stuff. I know for Maddie, because she was a girl, you know, we got a lot of things for her, but some of the stuff that we got, she didn't need all that. Like, she didn't even use some of the stuff. So the gender neutral things that we didn't use or that we had for her, we're using it now for Tristan. So shout out to hand-me-downs, okay? Like the diaper genie, the potty, stuff like that. Like, those are things that we did use those. But it was a necessity. So yes, get the necessities that you need, but don't feel like you have to buy this and that, this and that, this and that, because everybody has it. That's one thing I want us to stop doing in 2020, is feeling like we have to keep up with the Joneses and that we have to have all of this to be the best mom, or to have the latest, or you know, to be able to, you know, do this and do that, work with this baby brain. Like, no, just utilize what you have. Make sure you got a lot of diapers and wipes on deck. You know, shop on the clearance rack. Like, don't ever feel ashamed to do what you feel is best for your child. You know, if you don't have like an expensive stroller or car seat, it's okay, as long as you have something that's safe and that, you know, fits your needs. Like, if you want something that you can just take out the base and put on the stroller or whatever, do what you feel is best for you. But don't ever feel like you have to have a lot of things to be the best mom or to have everything for your child, because all your child really needs is love affection and attention from the mommy and the daddy, of course. I didn't want this to be too long, but I just wanted to share a few things that, you know, most people won't share with you after having a baby. So if I missed anything, please feel free to let me know down below. If I do think of anything, I'll leave it down below as well. But I hope this was helpful, and if you are expecting or having a baby this year, I love you and congratulations. I cannot wait to see your bundle of joy. So I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.